Hello and welcome to Metro Matters. I'm Mary Sitt. Every year we make service changes to our bus system 3 times a year. We might add a stop, delete one, adjust the arrival times, but there's a science behind the tweaking. A lot of thought goes into the changes we make. Here to tell us more is Kurt Luhrsen, Senior Director of Service Planning and Evaluation at Metro. Kurt has more than 17 years of experience in transportation planning and holds a Master of Arts in Urban Planning from UCLA. Kurt, thanks for being with us.
My pleasure.
So how do you make these service changes now?
Well, we spend a lot of time looking at ways that we can move more people. That is, and at the end of the day, our job. It's to move as many people around the region as possible to get to jobs, to get to work, to get to school, the doctor, and so forth. So we spend a lot of time taking input from a lot of different people, analyzing a lot of different possibilities to serve those needs, and then come up with some recommendations to see what we can afford as an agency to implement.
Now, how many routes do we have here at Metro?
We have about 150 weekday routes right
That's
now.
a lot. You have to examine and analyze the ridership, and you do this 3 times a year to adjust. Is that right?
We do service changes 3 times a year.
Well, how did you pick the 3?
It's usually an item that is contractually negotiated with your bus operators and mechanics union so that we give operators a chance 3 times a year to bid on different work. And it fits in well to sort of the ebb and flow of demand for us on the ridership side, where when school is in session, when school starts in mid-August, we get a large influx of customers from schools, both elementary, middle, high school, and college, that we don't have in the summer. So we have service changes at the end of the school year and the beginning of school to put in extra service to accommodate that. And then we have a 3rd service change in January so that we give drivers a chance to change what they're working if they'd like.
Okay, now recently we had some changes, and tell me about some of the highlights of those changes.
The first was we were contacted by one of our strategic partners, the Downtown Management District in Houston, who had determined a need for a new bus circulator in downtown. They wanted to help move people around seamlessly in downtown. So they went out and got a grant to pay for some new CNG buses and to pay for operations. And they chose
CNG is compressed natural gas.
Okay. As the region is trying to try greener technologies, just not running all on diesel fuel anymore. So it's the region's first foray into just CNG buses. And so they chose us to operate that, so that went in with our June service change.
And that's the Green Link.
That's the Green Link in downtown.
And it goes to restaurants, tourist spots, all up and down. It's like a shuttle bus.
It's a shuttle bus to move people around. There's no fare on it, and it's really to help make that last connection for commuters who are coming in on different buses who might work on the other side of downtown. So to make that sort of last mile link in downtown, and then to help move people around during the middle of the day that want to go out to lunch at not their company's cafeteria, right. Or they want to go to the YMCA or over to Discovery Green. It's really to help focus, to help improve circulation in downtown. So they can hop on the Green Link and talk to our bus operators who have been trained really as customer service agents to promote downtown and talk about the different things that they can see and do if they want to go down to Reliant Stadium, help them with where they get off to get on the rail line, how they pay for that and get back and such. So it's a really great service that we're excited to be partners with the Downtown Management District.
Okay, that's great. And then some other things you did was you extended some routes.
We had a couple of not new businesses, but we had businesses relocate. The UT Health Dental School moved its location within the TMC. They needed more office space to expand their offerings. And they moved to the south part of the campus where there was not a whole lot of existing transit service. So we looked at making some modifications. One was to the 87 Sunnyside route. We looked to bring that into our main transit hub in the Texas Medical Center so that we could improve connections for people. That is a route that runs right past where the new school is, but it was difficult to get to it and transfer if you were coming in on other routes. So that was one extension. We also looked at extending the Route 297 South Point, which is a park and ride route. It's our first extension of a park and ride route into this new part of the TMC campus in the south area. We've had some large new buildings built in the TMC. Its development is really starting to happen in the TMC again.
Are we getting more customers on that extension?
So we extended it. MD Anderson has a big new building that we extended service to 6 months ago, and we further extended that route to serve this new UT Health building.
So Kurt, whenever there's a new building that pops up, that's when we look at tweaking our service?
Right. Land use is a very important part of how we analyze where bus service will be successful. So we pay particularly attention when new office buildings go up, new city buildings go up, or county buildings that provide services, new residential buildings or such, grocery stores. So we look at extending routes as a first step to serving those new destinations, and look at, do we really need new routes to be able to tie those new origins or destinations into the system so that we can improve people's mobility.
And we also added more trips on 33 Post Oak, is that right?
One of the other things that we look at with each of our service changes is we look at which of our routes are carrying more people that we might have standing loads on. The 33 Post Oak is a very busy route in our system. It serves the Galleria area, and we were experiencing some heavy loads, particularly in the afternoon. So we looked at adding a few trips to that so we could reduce the standing loads so that people have a little better experience on the bus.
Sometimes we also do something customers don't like, and that's to cut a route. When do you make that kind of decision?
We do it once a year when we put together our annual transit service plan. We look at opportunities not only to expand service, but opportunities to become more efficient. Sometimes that means removing some trips or some routes depending upon their performance. Now what that means is we look for opportunities where we carry very few people on a particular trip. And
we're talking about 1 or 2 people, or what?
1 or 2 people. Our system, we average about 22 people on a trip system-wide. So we look for trips that are way below that on average. And we do have some of those throughout the system. Some of them are very late at night, some of them are during the day, some of them are because of the land use changes that we've talked about. We might have had a particular route that served a particular office building or a clinic. Well, that facility might have moved and the demand might not be in that location. So we might look to adjust the service on that. It might be, again, reducing the frequency that a bus runs out there, or it might mean that we simply reduce the trip or the span of service, the time that service is offered.
How do you decide when you're sitting there looking at the spreadsheet or whatever you look at in computers, you know, oh, let's just reduce it to, you know, twice a day we'll go out there because we're only getting 5 riders on average, versus let's just cut it completely. How do you make that decision?
Well, we try very much to balance the supply, the number of bus trips that we serve, the number of seats that we offer customers, with the actual demand. And we are very fortunate here. All of our buses and trains here in Houston actually have what are called automatic passenger counters. So every time you get on a bus or train, we have actual little laser beams above the doors that can count where people are getting on and off and how many. We get that data for every trip, every day, and we can see where are people riding this route, what times of day. So we look at all of that for these trips, and we try and make sure that if we need to reduce service, that we still provide enough service to meet the demand that is out there.
We need to take a little break right now, but we'll be right back with more from Kurt Luhrsen. He'll tell us what it takes to get a bus route to your favorite store. Stay with us.
Morning, Bob.
Good morning.
Hey, Abuelita. Hey, kids.
Beautiful day, isn't it? But wait, where's Lucille?
She still thinks driving to the zoo is faster than taking Metro Rail.
Forget about it. We told her Metro Rail is the fastest way to get to work without worrying about traffic or parking.
She is a bit flighty.
Avoid the stampede. Take Metro Rail to the Houston Zoo.
Mijo, it's dinner time. Where's your mother?
Mom left with the kids on Metro.
But I'm hungry.
Dad, Mom rides Metro every day.
But I'll starve.
Relax. They probably went to the park, did some shopping, and stopped for a snack.
A snack.
Honey, we're home. And I brought dinner.
She loves me.
Choose your route in life. Ride Metro.
We've been talking to Kurt Luhrsen, Senior Director of Service Planning and Evaluation at Metro. Kurt, what if somebody wants a bus route or a stop that is near their favorite store? How do you go about doing that?
A lot of customers call into our customer service line and say that very thing. I would like service extended to a particular location, or sometimes it's simply the distance between bus stops is really too far for me to walk. I would like a new bus stop or a shelter or a bus bench at a particular location. So we have representatives from service planning, we have representatives from our service delivery group, from our facilities group, and sometimes our police force go out and investigate depending upon what the request is and see, can we make a particular change in a safe manner. If we
actually send people out on location to look at the, really?
We have staff that go out several times a week to take a look at different requests that have come in from the public. The internet has really revolutionized the ability to do field work. Google and Google Maps is just brilliant now that you can actually go in, do street views, see what the land use is there, to see if there happen to be crosswalks at a particular location as you're looking to put in new stops, and can somebody cross the street safely.
And when you say it doesn't take very long, you're a planner, so you plan 10, 20 years in advance. So what does it mean when you say it doesn't take very long? From the moment someone requests, you go out and analyze it, go and make a field call, and then
right. For a bus
3
stop,
months, 6 months?
Oh, for a bus stop it can be much quicker than that.
Really?
It can be a week or two
Really?
if it's something that we can do easily. If it's a new route, it depends on the budget situation for that particular
Because that
year.
costs money every time you start a new route, is that right?
It can cost a lot of money depending upon what the solution is. If it's just a short route extension that might be the bus needs to be out there for 1 minute longer, we might be able to accommodate that within our existing resources. If it's a 5 mile or a 10 mile extension, that's something that we really want our board to weigh in on.
Kurt, on average, can you give me a ballpark figure of how much it costs to start a new route?
A new route on average can cost anywhere from about $500,000 a year to $1.5 million a year, depending upon how frequent the service is and how far it is. One of the newest routes that we put in was the 32 Renwick. It's been a very successful route for us, and it's 3 buses operating most of the day, and it's a route that costs about $650,000 a year to operate. And it's been a very good route for us. But
because it connects different things, right?
It connects a lot of our east-west routes. I think there's 14 different routes that it can connect to, and it really filled in a gap for us.
Now, is there an email address someone can write to if he or she has a suggestion of where to put a bus stop or a bus route?
The easiest way is you can call our customer service number. Okay. There is also, you can do it from the website. It's actually a form that you fill out online.
Kurt, you've been in the industry now, you've been a planner for about 17 years or more. Do you see any big trends going on in terms of where people want to live and public transit?
More and more people are wanting options. They don't necessarily want the big suburban house with the giant backyard. That's because of demographic trends. Family size is shrinking. People are not having 3 and 4 kids on average anymore. They want to be closer to the city and the amenities that the city offers. Being close to downtown, the art galleries, Discovery Green, Montrose, all of the great things that are in the urban fabric of our community, they want to be closer to. And people are not enjoying spending hours commuting every day. So there's a focus.
They want to live in walkable neighborhoods, right?
They want to live in walkable neighborhoods where they don't have to make every trip by car. They want their kids to be able to have the freedom to bike places and walk places when they get old enough. Moms and dads don't want to be chauffeurs as much. Everybody's so busy. They want to be able to give their kids that freedom and to get to places. So we're looking at ways to really build out our system, build out our rail infrastructure with the new light rail lines to get people more places, connect more places, the new stadiums that are going up here, and give people more choices so that if they want to live a lifestyle that's not dependent upon a car or even carless, they have that opportunity.
And Kurt, we want to be able to give our kids a cue card instead of a car, right? When they're ready to drive. Here,
Yes.
take the cue card, kid.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you so much for being with us. That's all for this edition of Metro Matters. Be sure to join the conversation on our blog at ridemetro.org, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter. I'm Mary Sitt. Thanks for watching.